white helmets.
Very similar to the Minnesota Golden Gophers as far as the color scheme here, but the helmets are a little different with the white helmets and the graphic logo.
Good-looking artificial turf here at the school. I like this stadium. It's really neat. So Walker getting ready to go back to the drawing board on offense, and they're going to have to burn a timeout before they run the first play of their third drive. Well, I tell you what, we are going to take a break here on WLAQ. We'll step out for 30 seconds with Darlington leading 13-0.
Timeout gives us a chance to recognize 4 Wolverine Club sponsors: Atlanta Tankless and Water Heater, 3C Software, Lake Point Wellness Center, Ansley Atlanta, J.D. Smith, Your Pie Marietta, Dupree, Kimbrough, and Carl, LLP, and Hodges and Hicks Construction Contractors.
All right, we are back live here from Marietta, Georgia at Robertson Field as Walker goes back to the line of scrimmage to start their third drive of the football game. Went 3 and out their first 2 drives. There's the snap. They're going to try to run it up the middle, and the ball, I think, came loose.
They fumbled the snap, Matt, so Condon had problems handling the snap, had to fall right back on top of it, and they lost a couple of yards in the process.
Indeed they did, so that's going to set up a 2nd down and 12 here for the Walker Wolverines, and they're really having a hard time getting some rhythm going on offense. They have not had a first down so far in the first quarter, and this is their 3rd drive.
And Darlington has taken advantage of the Walker mistakes. They've gained a few yards here, but I think it's probably a net 0 at this point.
Going to send 1 wide receiver off to the far side. Everybody else is in tight for this power set. Condon under center takes the snap. He's going to give it to their speedy guy, Smart, and he's going to be swallowed up by the defense. Maybe picked up a couple of yards.
Yeah, right now, I mean, it's obvious that Smart has some wheels, but you've got to give him the running lanes to utilize that talent. And right now, the battle in the trenches is being clearly won by the Darlington Tigers, both on offense and defense. 3rd and 12 will force them into a passing situation.
And the ball is on the 16-yard line on Walker's side of the field. They're going to send a wide receiver to the near side, one to the far side. The one to the near side is Parker Cook, and he's a pretty darn good wide receiver. You really got to watch him. Condon ready to take the snap. It's in his hands, looking off to this right side. He's not open, so now they're going to throw a little screen pass to Keon Smart, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, and I think Condon wanted to take a shot downfield there, but the pressure was just on him too quick. He was forced to step up. And I think, I'm trying to see who came in there. It was Tyler Watkins that came on the corner blitz there and almost got home with it, but he tried to dump it off to Smart, couldn't complete it, and they will have to punt again. The last attempt was blocked, so they're going to be lucky to get it off with the pressure Darlington's bringing.
So high snap. It is handled. Quarterback did a good job there pulling that down, who's also the punter, and got the kick away, but that was dangerous territory.
Yeah, high snap. He one-handed that thing and managed to get it off before it was blocked, but the pressure was coming. Really, all in all, very fortunate and a pretty good kick considering.
Well, Darlington has a golden opportunity here, already up 13-0, up by 2 scores, and getting the benefit of excellent field position starting on the Walker 45 to dig this hole deeper here for the Walker Wolverines.
Yeah, and I would expect a heavy dose of the run game as it has been working to perfection so far. Harrison Allen will line up in the shotgun with Patrick Shelley.
Actually, I think that's Darius Smith this time. No, it's not. Excuse me. You were right.
Smith's the up back. He's out there.
Gotcha. There's a snap.
First mistake by the Tigers right there, a false start.
So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. And a 1st and 15 coming up for Darlington.
Great start for the Tigers nonetheless. Already up 2 scores. We're not used to this, man.
No, we're definitely not. We were telling you that the last few games, Darlington has been down at the half, and they have not had a lead at halftime since the Kings Ridge game. Quarterback's going to take the snap from the shotgun. Allen in the backfield looking to throw here on first down. Connects with Watkins, and he is going to be dropped at about the 48, so they got about 2 of those penalty yards back.
Yeah. Watkins shook 2 tacklers, couldn't get past the third there as he was hit out in the flats. And it picked up a couple of yards, but still behind the chains at this point with 2nd and 12 to 13.
Speed to the near side. 3 wide receivers off to the far side for Darlington. They're working from left to right here on 2nd and 12. There's the snap. It's going to be a quarterback run. He's up the middle of the field, cuts inside. He can see some big-time daylight to the 15, 10, 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers. And that will end up being, a 53-yard run for Mr.
53-yard run for Patrick Shelley there on the read option. He kept that, went up the middle of the field, cut back to his right. Made a really nice move to elude a tackle. Now, right here, he high steps a little bit and is able to tight rope down the sidelines and indeed keep his feet in for the touchdown. Impressive run by Patrick Shelley and another touchdown for the Darlington Tigers. That's 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and if Bethel can pop this one through the uprights, a 20-0 lead.
So Bethel on, as you pointed out, for the extra point. No, actually,
they're going to go for 2.
They're going to go for 2. Shelley's still out there. Allen in the backfield. Also, Darius Smith at that sniffer position. Snap is going to be dropped. They pick it up, throw towards the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, messy play there. Shelley fumbled the snap and then had to rush his throw. That one was done from the get-go, but a touchdown nonetheless and a 19-0 lead for Darlington.
Wonderful start here for the Darlington Tigers. And again, this is one of those things that kind of gives you a little bit of room to breathe. Obviously, you want to keep your foot on the gas, but we were talking about playing loose in this football game. And so any kind of tension I think that the Tigers had coming into this game because of the way things have gone the last couple of weeks, you got to feel like they've kind of settled down at this point in time.
Yeah, it helps. You want to play loose? 19-point lead will help just a little bit.
And as we were talking earlier, Ian, of course, the regular season winding down next Friday for a lot of teams, and we're going to be talking about the playoff picture from games around Northwest Georgia. There's some big games getting played tonight, not just in Class A, but we'll talk about some in some other classifications as well, and you can hear all about it tonight after the game on the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show.
Yeah, some big games. I've got one early score for you. Matt Cartersville is up on Calhoun 3-0 in the first quarter. That game will decide second place in that region.
And I was looking earlier today, for those of you that were disappointed like us that we didn't get to see that Cartersville Blessed Trinity game. I'll tell you in a second. Here comes the kick here from Darlington. That is going to be end over end, dropping in at about the 11 is where it be fielded by Parker Cook, and he's going to be dropped around the 25. So they get a little bit better field position that time, but still great coverage by the Tigers.
But let's give Hendrix Jones, a freshman, remember, who's out here kicking for the first time on this kickoffs. Parker Cook and Keon Smart switched sides that time, and they're obviously keeping the ball away from Smart and kicked that one to Cook. It was a great directional kick. He puts a lot of hang time on the ball, allowing the coverage team to get down there and make the play. So give the freshman a lot of credit for the job he's done so far.
Couldn't agree with you more. Young man is doing a fantastic job tonight, as you mentioned. Quarterback getting ready to take the snap. That's Condon with Smart in the backfield. He's going to throw a pass here to the near side. He's going to hit Parker Cook.
Dropped him.
Luke McDermott grabbed a hold of him right away.
Whew. I guess he heard footsteps because that was an easy pitch and catch, but he just let it hit the turf. Actually, Luke McDermott popped that sucker out, so let's give Luke credit. He's come up and made a few plays already defending the pass. Looking good.
So that brings up 2nd and 10 here for the Walker Wolverines, who have yet in this football game to pick up a first down. They've gone 3 and out, 3 straight drives. They're going to send a wide receiver off to the far side, actually 3 this time. Under center is going to be Condon here for this 2nd down and 11. He's going to pitch, run a sweep to the right side, trying to get Smart some room to run, but they just can't spring him loose.
Yeah, this Darlington defense came to play tonight. They're not giving Smart any room whatsoever. Again, it's obvious the kid has some speed and some moves, but it's tough to overcome when you've got that many white jerseys in front of you, and Darlington's doing a good job not only playing well between the tackles, but getting out on the perimeter and shutting down the edge and not allowing them to bounce to the outside. Another score for you, Matt. You and I were real confident in this pick. Cedartown's already up 14-0.
Yeah, you know, Central earlier in the season, they played Heritage out of Ringgold, and they lost that game, and that really caught our attention when picking that football game because they're a pretty good team, but I wouldn't have expected that to happen in that game. Shotgun formation, Condon taking the snap. He's going to roll to his right and trying to find somebody to get it to. He's going to heave it down the field, and it's going to be picked off by the Darlington Tigers and Thomas Bethel, who is running the other way with a head full of steam. Walker kind of looks stunned right now. He's going to get it all the way down to the 20. What a play.
Yeah, absolutely. A circus catch there by Thomas Bethel, the jack of all trades. Condon held the ball there for a while, rolled out to his right. Didn't have anything. I love the fact that he was aggressive and took the shot. Right now they need to do something to get a little momentum going. But Bethel went up and with his right hand was able to tip that ball and wrangle it in, and then had the wherewithal to advance that ball upfield. He almost took it to the house and was pushed out of bounds right around the 23-yard line, where the Darlington offense will take over with excellent field position once again for their fourth drive. Can they go 4 for 4, Matt?
You know, the way things are going in this football game, I'm actually kind of betting on it, to be honest with you. And this is just what the doctor ordered for this team. They've been battling all season long. This is kind of like therapy, I would imagine, for this team. They've had a lot of really hard games. It's nice to get one where you can get a big lead. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to Darius Smith. Tries to go up the middle, and he is greeted by a host of Wolverines and dropped pretty much immediately.
It looks like he fought pretty hard to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good defense there by the interior of that Wolverine defense.
So now the ball is going to be on the 21-yard line as Darlington gets ready to run their second down play, second down and 10. Harrison Allen is back on for this particular package. They're going to send a couple wide receivers to the near side. In the slot's going to be Thomas Bethel. Here to the near side is going to be Thomas Speed. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off and run it off right tackle. And this time he's going to pick up a pretty decent chunk of yards. That was a lot of effort there by Allen, and it paid off.
Absolutely. About 5 yards there for Harrison Allen. He continues to run the ball well. That time he had to work a little harder for it. He's had some big holes to run through. But we know Harrison Allen is not afraid of contact. That guy really racks up the yak.
And he's having a heck of a football game. We mentioned to you coming into the night, I believe he had 925 yards. So he's got to be close to 1,000 if not already eclipsed that by now. But that is going to end your first quarter. Darlington up 19-0 over Walker. And they got a 3rd and 5 coming up from the 17-yard line in the red zone. When we come back on WLAQ, we'll step out for 1 minute. That's it.
Board break gives us a chance to recognize some additional Wolverine Club sponsors. Rossage Pediatric Dentistry, Serendipity Labs, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Georgia Root Advisors, and the law offices of Daniel R. Crum.
All right, we're going to flip sides of the field now, and Darlington is going to be working from right to left on your radio dial with the ball in the red zone at the 17-yard line and leading this football game 19-0. They've got a 3rd down and 5 coming up, so let's see if they can move the chains, or who knows, they might just spring a big play and find themselves in the end zone right now. We'll just have to see what happens.
I wouldn't be surprised, Matt.
Of course, the Walker defense trying to pin their ears back here and get a stop. Have not been able to do that so far in this game. Darlington playing really well on offense. They're going to give to Allen, stays up, carries a man with him, and gets the first down.
Yes, he did. And he is right around 70 yards, Matt. If he cashes in the rest of the yards on this drive, he will eclipse 1,000 yards.
Great accomplishment for that young man. And, of course, he transferred in back in January from Cartersville and has been a fantastic addition to this football team. We're not going to see it happen on this play because he's going off to the sidelines. Darius Smith in at running back here for Darlington. They're going to have 4 wide receivers here on this first down and goal from the 8-yard line. Shelley getting ready to take the snap as a man goes in motion. They faked the motion man, and the flag comes in. That's a false start.
Yep, false start will back the Tigers up. That's their second penalty. Both have been false starts. That's 10 yards they've given up. They haven't had a problem overcoming that so far.
First and goal, the 14.
Well, we've had 10 straight weeks with Darlington football for you on WLAQ and the Darlington School video stream. And it's going to be really strange not getting together next week and going off to a football game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Matt. We'll get a little break.
I'm getting a nod from Dave Corbin here.
Then we're going to gear. I think Dave would just keep going. I think we could do 30 straight weeks, and Dave would be all in.
He loves us so much, we may have to check on him next week. There's a snap to, of course, quarterback Shelley gives to Allen. He's going to be dropped.
Got most of the penalty yardage back there. Edging closer and closer. I just want him to break a big one so we can celebrate 1,000 yards. And, you know, coaches act like they don't pay attention to that stuff, but you know they do. You know, they want him to get that mark.
A little bit of shifting in and out of personnel as we get ready for this play. Allen is still in the backfield. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near. Second down and goal, ball on the 10. Here comes the snap to Shelley. A pitch right to Allen, finds a lane, and then runs off to the side and gets tripped up.
Really well defended. The Wolverines have done a much better job defending the run when they try to go off tackle. And get out on the edge. That was just really good defense. Allen made some moves, couldn't really get anything going.
So we've got 10 minutes and 22 seconds left here in our first half of play. Darlington leading this one 19-0. This is going to bring third down and goal from the 10 coming up.
And with the kicking issue of Brinson Sumner not being in uniform tonight. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. If they could pick up 5 yards, they may decide to go for it on fourth down.
So Shelley with him in the gun, and here comes the snap. He's dropping back. He's got a pocket collapses, and he's going to be sacked.
Pressure, big time coming up the middle. Shelley just held onto the ball too long there. Good coverage downfield by the Wolverines as they use that boundary in the back of the end zone to cut off the passing lanes, and that puts Darlington in a precarious situation here.
They're going to have the ball on the 22-yard line with fourth down and goal here for the Tigers. So, and then they're keeping the offense on the field.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they really have a choice here. I was watching Bethel kick from the 25-yard line, which is a 35-yard attempt. He was hitting those in warm-ups, but this would be a 40-yard attempt if they were to kick it. So they're going to take a shot at the end zone, I'd imagine.
So here's fourth down from the 22 here for the Tigers. Dropping back is Shelley, and he's going to put the ball in the air towards the end zone. Wide open, extends, and that's going to be incomplete. Just a little bit out of reach there for Thomas Speed. I thought he was going to make a circus grab there for a second.
How Thomas Speed was able to get behind the defense there, I do not know, but he was wide open.
Wow.
Shelley really put a lot of zip on that pass, and it was a little bit wobbly, a hard one to field, and that's not on Thomas Speed. Had he caught that, it would have been a really immaculate catch there. Didn't happen, and Darlington turns it over on downs, and that's the first time things have not gone the Tigers' way on offense.
Indeed, and we're going to see the 5th possession of the football game here for the Walker Wolverines here in a few minutes. They trail your Darlington Tigers here in Marietta, Georgia at the Walker School at Robertson Field. Score right now with 9:02 left here in the first half is 19-0, and the first quarter was clipping by pretty quickly, but things have seemed to slow down here in this second quarter, at least from my perspective.
Nice change up here to the Wildcat.
There's the snap, and running the football is going to be smart, and they're going to drop him at the 18-yard line, so he's going to take a loss.
You can go Wildcat, Bush Hog, Tomcat. Doesn't matter if you can't block the defense, and so far the Wolverines have not been able to cage the Tigers' defensive line. They're just playing with their hair on fire right now.
So that'll be a 2-yard loss there for the Wolverines, and the ball is going to be nose of it right at the 20-yard line. Walker trying to work out of their own territory. And so far in this football game, they have had 3 3-and-outs, and Thomas Bethel intercepted a pass, so things have not gone well for this team offensively. Going to send 2-3 wide receivers here to the near side. Smart is one of them. They line him up in a lot of different areas, trying to get him in space and get the ball in his hands. There's the snap, and we're going to have a I didn't see a flag.
I didn't see the hanky, but they definitely called it. First first penalty against the Wolverines. Yeah, you call those your get-it-to guys, and they are definitely trying to get it to him, but you have to create the space for him to make plays. But moving him around and finding different ways to get him open right now, what they're trying isn't working, so getting creative, putting him out on the slot on that last play. But I would expect them to continue lining him up all over the field, as he is obviously their best athlete.
No question about it. They're going to send a couple of wide receivers to the far side, one on the near, working from left to right. Now Smart goes back beside his quarterback. Condon is his name. He's going to play baseball at the University of Georgia, by the way. There's a quick throw, and that's going to be behind his wide receiver. A little miscommunication there, I suppose.
Yeah, there had to be some miscommunication there because he threw it about a mile behind him. So right now, Walker not looking too sharp on offense when they do have a chance to make a play. Just short-hopped that pass. There was some pressure coming, but he had time to deliver.
It's been a tough season for the Wolverines. They're 1-7, 0-2 in region play. Of course, their region losses were North Cobb Christian and Christian Heritage, two very, very good football teams, and they're playing a pretty darn good one tonight. The Darlington Tigers having a really quality season. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. 3rd down and 17. They're going to hand the football off and try to run it.
Nothing doing there as they tried to go off tackle with a little delayed handoff. That was number 24, Jackson Crail on the carry, and he couldn't get anything going, and they'll be forced to punt again, which has been adventurous for the Wolverines. We've seen one of Condon's punts get blocked. He had to one-hand grab a high snap on another, so we'll see if they can get this one off.
Luke McDermott is back around midfield. Here is the kick. That one is going to be dropping in at about the 44. It's on the turf, but picked up by Luke McDermott, and he runs off to the far side and is going to be pulled down by about 4 Wolverines, and the ball will be about midfield.
Yeah, pretty good punt, but once again, Darlington starting in Wolverine territory. That's the 4th straight drive where they have started on that side of the field, and they've been able to cash in on 3 of those. The last one, Shelley took a sack on 3rd down, and they were put in a tough situation without their trusty kicker, Brinson Sumner, and had to go for it on 4th and goal from about the 22-yard line. We'll see if they can cash in on this 5th opportunity on offense.
So the ball is going to be at the 47-yard line in Walker Wolverine territory as we begin this drive. 7:03 left here in the first half. Darlington up 19-0. Shotgun formation, 2 wide on the far side. Man went in motion. That was Bethel. They faked to him. A pass downfield to Simpkins, and it's a little bit over his head. And there was some contact there.
A lot of contact.
No flag.
A ton of contact. How a flag? I mean, if they want to say that's uncatchable, maybe, but that was blatant.
Yeah, he was all over his shoulder.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's going to be an incomplete pass, setting up 2nd and 10 with the ball still on the 47. So you just got to shake that one off and go to the next play as they are doing right now. 3 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side and on the backfield, and that's going to be an encroachment on the defense.
Yes, it is. Number 55, Cooper Cranfield, came off from his defensive end position and went into the neutral zone, so that'll be 5 free yards for Darlington. Love the fact that they tried to take the top off the defense. Darlington really hasn't stretched the field very much with the deep ball. This is an opportunity with a lead like this to practice some of that, because that has really been a handicap for this team all year, and that one was there. Just didn't get the call, but drive's still alive at 2nd and 5.
4 wide, trips on the near side, 1 receiver on the far side. Darlington working right to left with 2nd down and 5 with the ball on the Walker 42. And here comes the snap to Shelley. He's going to hand it off immediately to Allen. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's got it inside the 30 down to the 25 before they haul him to the turf.
And Matt, my stats aren't exact, but that's 1,000 yards for sure.
That's 1,000 yards on the season.
That's 1,000 yards for Harrison Allen. Kudos to that young man. He has carried the rock with authority all season long, and what a great accolade.
1st down and 10, Tigers with the ball on the 25 in Walker territory. There is a pass, a nice screen to Thomas Speed, and he's going to run towards the end zone. Goes into the end zone. That's a 25-yard pass play. From Patrick Shelley to Thomas Speed, touchdown Tigers.
Speed kills. You know it, Matt. It came across on that little wide receiver screen and cut it upfield and used those wheels to get to the end zone. Darlington scores yet again and takes a commanding 25-0 lead. It looks like they're going to line up and try to get the two-point conversion once again. And that storyline continues. It doesn't look like they're going to need their trusty kicker tonight, but we certainly hope we see Brenton Sumner back in a few weeks when they go on the road, because what a weapon he is.
Well, this is a breath of fresh air to look at the scoreboard, and it says 25-0 Darlington Tigers, and we're in the first half. They have got to be having a ball out there right now. Empty backfield here on this two-point conversion. Shelley's got the ball in his hands, looking to throw, and it was up the middle of the field.
We're going to get a flag. We got a flag.
Balnowen was the intended target, but as you mentioned, there was a flag.
Yeah. He was definitely being held. You can see his shoulder pad out of his jersey. So they're going to call that, and Darlington will get another crack at this.
So Darlington leads at 25-0. Now a little bit of change of personnel. They're going to bring Harrison and Allen in. And I would imagine they're just going to try to punch it in. You're probably either going to see Allen or Shelley run it on this play, I would assume. But we will see what happens. They'll line up in a pistol. Two wide receivers to the near side. There's the snap. They're going to hand it to Allen. He gets tripped up and is short. And
that was Crail that came untouched into the backfield. Really nice tackle there. Disappointing. Conversions have been a problem tonight. The only negative for the Tigers all night, they missed an extra point. Bethel made his second. They've gone for two on the last two touchdowns and have failed to convert, so that makes it an awkward score, but still a good one if you're a Darlington Tigers fan. 25-0.
Feels really nice. 6:30 left here in the first half of football, and at halftime we're going to have scores brought to you by Rome Orthopedic Center. At the end of the night, it'll be the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. And then, of course, next weekend, normally at that time during the halftime, we also talk about the next opponent. But there is no opponent next week. It's just rest, healing bumps and bruises, and an extra week of preparation to get ready for the playoffs.
I do feel like even with 6:30 left in the second quarter, it's safe to say that the Darling Tigers are going to lock down that third seed, though.
Yes, absolutely, barring just some really crazy circumstances that I just don't see happening here tonight. And again, it's a breath of fresh air. You've had so many close games throughout the year. Coming out, getting off to a strong start, creating some separation in the scoreboard. As you were talking about, one of the important things there, getting ready for the playoffs, you get an opportunity to try out some different things that you're going to need when you get into some of these tougher matchups. You got to be as dynamic as possible when you're facing some of the better teams that you're going to see in the state in the playoffs if you make a run.
Absolutely, Matt. And we've still got 6:30 left here in the second quarter, but you got to think you're going to see some of the star players rested in the second half at this point.
Here's the young man, the freshman, Hendricks Jones, kicking it off, doing a good job. This time kicks it to the 10. It'll be brought out from Parker Cook, and he is going to be dropped around the 22, takes a hard hit, and you can hear people react to it in the crowd.
It's Joe Marion. He hit three guys as hard as he possibly could coming down to make that. I mean, he leveled one, then he levels another, and then he comes in and he cleans up the tackle. What a play there.
Got to love the effort there from that young man and the rest of the team. This has been a heck of an effort from this team all season long. And again, it has been an absolute grind getting out there preparing for games 10 weeks straight, and they've done a tremendous job. Walker lines up at their own 23. Under center, there's the snap, pro set. He's going to run a play-action pass to the near side, connects to his wide receiver, Parker Cook. He goes out of bounds, a pickup of about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, not too much there, but he finally completes one to Cook. That's obviously his favorite target, and Darlington's just not allowing anything downfield right now. This defense is dialed in, and it looks like the Wolverines are simply overmatched.
28-yard line is where they're going to set up for second down and 5. Working from left to right, trailing the Darlington Tigers 25-0. Talked about one of the keys to the game, getting off to a strong start. I think they might have been listening to the pregame show, Ian.
Maybe so. We've inspired them.
Shotgun formation, 2 wide set, one on the far side, one on the near side for Walker. Condon takes the snap, drops back. He's got company in the backfield, and he's going to put it in the air downfield, and that's going to be incomplete.
And they should stay aggressive. At this point in the game, Condon, if he gets flushed from the pocket, he might as well throw it up, see if they can either get a circus catch or a PI and keep things going. But right now, we're midway through the second quarter, and they're yet to get a first down. They're yet to get close to a first down.
Yep. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, interception, 3 and out. And that is how the drives have gone for Walker so far in this football game. Been a tough season for him much of the way. This time they're going to line up under center. Everybody in tight except for one wide receiver here on the near side for 3rd down and 5. And almost got Darlington. Yep, did get Darlington to jump.
Oh, that was a long 5 minutes. I think they're still going to be short.
Oh, I believe so as well.
Encroachment assessed against the Tigers.
So as you just heard on the PA, encroachment against the Tigers, but you're right, they're going to be short by
not much.
Not a whole lot, but certainly they're
going to move the chains. Okay, the nose of the football actually looked like it was there. I don't know. So my eyes are failing me, man.
Well, you're 40 now. You're a grown man.
I still got 20/20, baby. I just misjudged.
Suck it up, Buttercup. I turned 42 on Monday. 1st down and 10. Offset I formation. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off, get it into Smart's hands, and, man, the defense was all over him. They are not giving Smart anywhere to go.
Yeah, he has nowhere to go. He keeps getting fed the rock and keeps getting greeted by hosts of Darlington tacklers. And they are flying to the ball, gang tackling. This has been an excellent effort by the Tigers defense. And the Tigers defense has been excellent all season, so they're just continuing on the trend that they've built over the last 9 games.
But, man, one of the things I've discovered is, like, in a lot of ways I feel older, but I don't feel like my maturity level has necessarily gone up
not at all.
Somebody's 42.
No, absolutely.
You agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Three wide on the far side, 2 on the – sometimes that's a good thing, other times not. Empty backfield. They're going to hand it off to Parker Cook. He gets some room on the edge. That's a positive play. They pick up about 8 yards.
That is the best play of the game so far. A little misdirection there. Parker Cook comes off the edge.
Tackled on the play by number 2, Darius Smith.
So that brings up 3rd and 3 here for the Wolverines, who picked up their first down of the game on a penalty.
Yes, they did. They're going to try to earn this one. 2nd and 3. They're finally ahead of the chains. That has been a challenge so far tonight, as we are under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and it's 25-zip Darlington.
That sounds so nice.
Doesn't it?
And everybody's going to line up in tight except for 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side of the formation, split wide. In the backfield is going to be Keon Smart at that tailback position. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off. Smart is running to the inside, and he is going to be hauled out of bounds. The defense is doing a good job setting the edge. He did get the first down there, but they're not giving up the big plays.
No, they definitely weren't going to give up a big play there, but that's the most room he's had to run out there on the edge. It was clear he was going to pick up the first down as he picked up about 6 yards there, put his shoulder into the defensive back to pick up an extra yard. Bowden Owens came up and made the play there. But for the first time all night, the Wolverines have a little bit of momentum going on offense. They still have not been in Darlington territory, as they're now at their own 46.
3 wide receivers to the far side. Lined up in the slot is going to be Smart. Empty backfield for Condon here on 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. They picked up 2 first downs. They're going to throw a screen up the middle to Smart, but the defense does a good job. Darius Smith with the stop.
Yeah, nice pass there as Logan Floyd, a sophomore who we haven't called his name too many times this season, but he's in at linebacker right now, and he came off the edge on a blitz, almost got home with that one, but Condon did a good job stepping into that throw and completing it.
So that brings up 2nd down and 6 here for the Walker Wolverines with 3:30 left here in the first half, and Darlington leading it 25-0. 3 wide off to the far side, a couple to the near, and they're going to move Smart around again. This time he's going to be split wide to the near side. Empty backfield, man goes in motion, and they're going to quick pitch to the motion man, and that's Parker Cook. He runs out to the edge on the far side, and they string him out of bounds.
Nice tackle there. Luke McDermott came flying up to make that tackle. It's going to be 3rd down. I don't think he really got much of anything there. Yeah. Got back to the line of scrimmage. That was it. Great job by Luke McDermott. He's had a good game. We've called his name a lot tonight, both coming up from his corner position and stopping the run and breaking up passes.
So much fun to be here bringing these football games 10 weeks straight for the regular season. And I got to be honest with you, it saved me because I don't know how many more nights I could watch cornhole tournaments, video game tournaments, and wrestling.
No axe throwing?
No, I probably watched it some, but it's good to have sports back. Man.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 6. Walker working from left to right. There's the snap, a little bit low, picked up. He's going to throw here to the near side, and a great stop there by Thomas Speed.
Thomas Speed having himself a game. He's already made a great tackle on special teams. He laid the wood to the receiver there, who's coming up a little bit gimpy, and we're going to end up having to take a timeout. That's number 22, Robert Larson, who just caught that ball. He's from his tight end position. He's down. That was a hard collision.
And we're going to go ahead and take a timeout as well. This is WLAQ, Darlington football. Darlington on top, 25-0 with 2:05 left here in the first half of play. We're going to step out for about 30 seconds.
Good to see Robert Larson get up under his own power.
All right, we're back here live from Marietta, Georgia at the Walker School. We're at Robertson Field, and Darlington having a fun time tonight on top, 25-0 with 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Walker with the football and a 4th down and 6 from midfield, and it looks like they'll go for it. 4-down territory here. Condon ready to take the snap with 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. He's got company, and he is going to have to tuck and run, and that'll be a turnover on downs, giving Darlington some time to work with.
Yeah, a delayed blitz there from the corner position. Tyler Watkins came flying in. Nice pump fake there by Condon. It got Watkins up in the air and gave him a fighting chance to pick up the first down, but Davis Watson was able to wrangle him a few yards past the line of scrimmage, and that's a 4 and out. Darlington takes over.
They're going to have great field position, so even if obviously we feel like they'll play conservative here, they could break a big play or two. They got plenty of time to work with here. It'd be nice to see them be able to put together another drive and have some more points before halftime.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts. The playbook is wide open with 1:44. I'd like to see them take another shot downfield, see if they can get a big pass play here.
Well, they're going to line up in shotgun formation, and they're going to have an empty backfield here with 5 wide receivers, 3 on the near side, the short side of the field. Man went in motion. That is Luke McDermott. Here is a throw up the middle of the field, and that is going to be nearly intercepted, it looked like, by number 1, Parker Cook.
And that was McKay Rush, who had a huge 4th down conversion catch last week. Somebody's name I think we'll be calling a lot over the next 3 years as he's only a freshman. That pass was behind him, and he was fighting with the defender there, and it fell to the turf, but it was almost intercepted.
So it's going to be 2 wide receivers on the far side, a couple here on the near. We've got some new faces out there for the Tigers. We'll call their names momentarily, but Shelley getting ready to take the snap with Darius Smith lining up at that sniffer position. And this is going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. Ball on the 49, Darlington on their side of the field. Here's the snap, dropping back into the pocket, and he's going to run towards his right, and is going to tuck and run the football. He's got a lot of green grass running up the middle of the field. He's headed towards the end zone, tripped up at the 5-yard line.
Patrick Shelley's having himself a day, ladies and gentlemen. He wanted to find somebody downfield, but it was good coverage by the Wolverines defense, so he eventually decided to pull that ball down and run, and when he did, he was electric, and he has been electric with the ball in his hands all season. That time he nearly took it to the house, but was brought down at the 5-yard line, a shoestring tackle by Parker Cook.
1st and goal for the Tigers. There's the snap to Shelley. He's going to throw a fade here to the near side of the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers. And I believe that was Gabe Simpkins.
Yeah, really well executed there. Perfect throw by Patrick Shelley. Nice touch on that ball. Threw the fade to the corner and let his receiver go up and get it, and Simpkins did just that with a touchdown, and the Tigers have just had a great first half on offense all the way around. Shelley's now accounted for 4 touchdowns, 2 running and 2 passing here in the first half.
So it is 31-0 with 1:08 left to go, and now on for the extra point is going to be Thomas Bethel. Let's see if he can punch this one through and make it a 32-0 football game. Here comes the snap from Mason McKenzie. The hole looks pretty good, and the kick is going to sneak right through the uprights. The officials had to kind of come together.
It was
on
like
that,
a dance.
Sure. It's like,
was
it in?
Yeah.
Was it not? I don't know.
I don't know what was going on there. It was like the safety dance. You ever seen the safety dance back over there? I don't know what they had going on there.
That was a little bit confusing.
Yeah,
We were kind of waiting on that call just to make sure it was official. I thought it went through. Certainly looked like it, but sometimes looks can be deceiving when you're looking at it from an angle, but it did make it through, we have confirmed.
It sure did. So Bethel 2 for 3 now on extra points. Officials really looked a little confused on that one, but we're having a good time here tonight, man.
Yes, we are. And I tell you, one of the things that's kind of become a joy of this when we're on the road and we're sitting close to, of course, Dave and Joey, who do the video feed, is to say ridiculous stuff and watch Dave's reaction to it.
Yeah, I know we don't get to see his reaction when we're at Chris Hunter. He's up on the roof, but when we say dumb things now, we get to see Dave's reaction.
We have a good time with this, man. It's so much fun. Oh, my goodness. We try not to get too silly, but sometimes it's just in the air, I guess.
Sometimes it's apropos, man.
Here's the kickoff from the freshman, who's doing a great job, Hendricks Jones. It's going to drop in at the 15 on the near side. Will be brought out, and the coverage does a good job hauling him out of bounds at about the 27.
I tell you what, Luke McDermott, he wants some honeymoon, man. That guy's all over the field tonight. There's a lot of players playing lights out tonight, but we've called his name a lot. He's been in on a lot of plays, both on offense and defense.
Of course, going to be a lot of guys. Patrick Shelley's had a great night. Harrison Allen eclipses 1,000 yards for the season. That certainly is cupcake worthy, if you ask me. So a whole nother half to play and 1 minute and 3 seconds left of the first half to go. So there's going to be a lot that happens over the course of the remaining time we have here tonight.
Tell you what, Matt, I'm going to leave it for the boys back in the studio, but there are some scores that people are going to enjoy hearing about at halftime.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. 1:03 left here in the half. Darlington up 32-0. Empty backfield here for the Wolverines, working from left to right. Big company from Watkins, and he drops him for a big loss. That young man is fired up.
He sure is, and he missed his opportunity last time. He came off the edge on the blitz, and Condon pump faked him, got him in the air, and got past him. That time, he was not going to be denied, and he brings it home, and the Darlington Tigers rack up their second sack of the evening. DJ Johnson was back there too, but that one goes to Mr. Watkins, and he earned it, and he was trying to energize this Tigers crowd, which traveled well for this ball game.
It really feels like that the Tigers are exercising some demons here tonight.
It does. And they deserve it.
Wide receiver to the near side. In the backfield is Smart. They're going to go to him. A lot of traffic at the line of scrimmage. He'll be dropped for a loss on that play.
That should take us to the half, Matt. I don't think they'll try to run another play.
5 seconds left on the clock. And that is going to be it as both teams get ready to trot off the field as the buzzer sounds at the end of the first half. Darlington up 32-0 over Walker. We're going to take a breather and send it back to the studio for a few minutes, but glad you're with us tonight, whether you're listening on the radio or the live feed. We're glad to have you with us, having a good time tonight down here in Marietta, Georgia on the final night of the regular season. We'll send it back to the studio. We'll be back for halftime commentary after these messages. Whoop.
Please stay tuned for halftime performances for our Walker varsity cheerleaders and our Wolverine attack pep band and drum line. Gabriel escorting the varsity cheerleaders out to midfield for their performance at halftime. He looks like he's ready to drive the carpool. A Walker gentleman through and through.
All right, we are back live here from Marietta, Georgia,
everyone.
Robertson Field,
But
and
beware.
they've got some performances that are taking place here at
Are about to be
halftime. They
attacked.
just had, a dance troupe,
The
and cheerleaders out there
award-winning
performing to a
Wolverine
modern
attack
country
from
song. I have no idea. That's the first time I've ever heard that song.
The band
I'm really out of touch with pop
I-
culture of these days, man.
Especially modern country. If I have, just not something I follow, but the young ladies did a nice job out there.
They really did, and we want to take this opportunity to thank our radio sponsors for making it possible for us to be here tonight. We really appreciate Floyd Medical Center, Honeymoon Bakery with the icing on the cake player of the game. They've been doing that for probably about a decade, and we appreciate that. Riverside Auto Group, Avery Drugs, Rome Orthopedic Center, the sponsor of our scoreboard show that you can hear on the radio after the game, Ware Mechanical, Jower Scalar Insurance, and also with us tonight, Ford Giddings and Kane Jewelers. And when I say this, I truly mean it. If it weren't for their support, we would not be able to pack our radio station in a box and bring it down to the games and provide commentary for you on the radio and on the video stream as well. So I just want to take that opportunity every game to thank them for making it possible, because I know that the fans back at home really appreciate being able to follow the games and things of that nature. And I can tell you for a fact that your broadcasters really enjoy bringing these games to you.
Yeah, we have a good time, Matt, and it means a lot to be able to deliver it to people back home, especially this year, because a lot of people are choosing to stay at home for an obvious reason. So we're even happier that we can be here this year for ourselves and for our listeners.
And I was talking with Coach Atha a few weeks ago, and we're actually working it out to where we can do maybe not every one of the basketball games on the schedule for the boys and girls basketball teams, but we're going to do some basketball this year, a little bit more in the regular season than we've done in the last several years, and partly because we just love to be in the gym and be at the games, but also because obviously with limited capacity, I would assume, at the games and you know, some older folks and different people, you know, that are susceptible to some of the issues with the coronavirus, not being able to come to the games. We want to make sure that people have the opportunity to follow these kids as they get out there and play the games, because it's just so much fun and it's so meaningful to them, and it's been a lot of fun to watch them have fun throughout the season and get out there and compete, because that's where they need to be, man. That's where they need to be.
Absolutely.
So, well, I tell you what, man, we're going to run down some scores. We'll have some stats for you here in just a little bit from this football game. That's going to be really fun tonight. But Ian, tell us about some of the scores going on with other area
absolutely,
games.
Matt. We've got some big games tonight. I'll try to refresh and have them as updated as possible. Right now, the Rome Wolves are on the road playing Douglas County, and they trail 6-0. We expected that to be a low-scoring defensive battle, and that is exactly what you're getting between the Wolves and the Tigers. Right now, Rome trailing 6-0. Chattooga and Pepperell. Right now, that game being played in Lindale is at halftime. Pepperell is leading at 21-7. I don't think that's a big surprise. We all expected Pepperell to win that game. Here's a shocking score for you: Adairsville 28, North Murray 7.
Wow.
Right?
That really shocks me, because obviously on our pick show, I know that my dad, Randy Davis, was talking about how he really felt like that was going to be a good game. And I didn't necessarily agree with that because, you know, Adairsville's been pretty consistent, but North Murray put 42 points on Rockmart and took them to the brink. So I just really felt like North Murray was a good bit ahead of where Adairsville is. But, hey, Adairsville's been so consistent throughout the season.
Yeah.
They're off to a hot start.
Yeah, and they're out to a 21-point lead right now at home. I'm sure the home crowd is loving that, and we're eating our words. Our Murchie trails Gordon Lee 35-7. This is a good Gordon Lee team that scores a lot of points. No surprise there. It's been a tough season for our Murchie. It's been a tough many years for our Murchie, but this year with COVID, they've been hit pretty hard with that as well. So tough season for our Murchie. Here's one that's kind of surprising. Gordon Central is leading Dade County 21-13. The battle for that fourth spot in the region is still wide open. So that's an interesting score we'll continue to follow. Big game between Cartersville and Calhoun as they battle it out for second place. The Cartersville Blessed Trinity game was canceled due to COVID concerns, and Cartersville had to forfeit that game to the best of our understanding. So the winner of this game will lock down second place in that region. That's a pretty big deal. Right now, the Hurricanes are up 17-7. That game is being played at the Reeve in Calhoun. Other than that, I've got Sonoraville trailing Ringgold 7-3. And Cedartown out to a 20-0 lead over Central of Carrollton. And then Tryon is trailing Mount Zion on the road. Matt went out on a limb and took the Bulldogs in that one. And it's not over.
Well, and I will say this. I wish I'd have had a little bit more intel on that football game before we made that pick, because today I saw somebody post on Facebook that the starting quarterback would be out for Tryon, as well as I think 16 players not making that trip. Ooh. If the number that I saw was correct, and I think it is. So, yeah, that certainly set them back going to that game, and neither one of those teams have had a tremendous season so far.
No, Mount Zion's got a good record, but not against great competition, so I don't think it was a bad pick on your part. But 16 players, including your starting quarterback, it's going to be hard to beat a Pee Wee team if that's what you're lining up.
I'm pretty sure we can just go ahead and probably could have several weeks ago crowned you the high school football picks challenge winner for this year.
Hey, it ain't over till. Do I get some tiramisu? Is that the prize this year?
Yeah, we'll get some. I'll have these. You can have some. We'll have some fun with that.
We'll share it.
It'll be good. No, we're not going to share it. You'll have your own. I'll have my own. We'll get Dave
other end of there. Everybody
gets
some tiramisu. You hear that? That's nice. Matt's feeling generous tonight.
Tiramisu on me, man. I'm having too much fun to deny that. But right now at halftime, Darlington leads this one 32-0 over the Walker Wolverines on the road. We got about 10 minutes until we start the second half. So what we're going to do now is send it back to the studio for a break if you're listening on the radio. And then once we come out of the break, we're going to talk about the first half and tell you how things went for the Darlington Tigers against Walker here on the road. And perhaps we will have some stats for you as well. Well, we will have some stats. Just got them from Stacy Norton. So all that coming up here on our halftime show. And we will be back here live from Marietta here in a few minutes. Yes, sir. More Darlington Tigers football for you tonight. Live from Marietta, Georgia. We are at Robertson Field on the campus of the Walker School. Darlington on top. We got a great story for you there for the first half, up 32-0. And we're going to run down the statistics. And so far tonight, passing for Patrick Shelley, he's 5 of 9 for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing yards, Harrison Allen, he has 12 carries for 80 yards and 1 touchdown, and that means that he has eclipsed 1,000 yards for the season because he came in, I believe, with 925. So he's sitting right at 1,005 yards for the season.
We got it right. We got it right. We celebrated at the right time, Matt.
I believe we did. Patrick Shelley, 3 carries for 95 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Receiving yards, you've got Thomas Speed with 35 yards and a touchdown. Then you also have Bowden Owens, who had a catch for 28 yards. Gabe Simpkins with a catch for 4 yards, but it was a touchdown reception there. And then also Tyler Watkins with a catch for 3 yards. Tackles tonight, Darius Smith with 2. You had Tyler Watkins with a sack and a block punt. You would have Joe Marion with 3 tackles, but, man, he was all over the backfield.
He sure was.
Then you would have Patrick Shelley with a tackle, also one for Thomas Bethel, had an interception as well. Thomas Speed with a tackle, Luke McDermott with 1. Also, Logan Floyd with a tackle. You would have one for Christian McClooney as well as one for Joey Kite. Getting into the action was DJ Johnson with a tackle and a couple for Davis Watson. So the Tigers have been all over the place on defense. Everybody getting involved in this effort tonight.
And DJ Johnson had that tackle was a sack. So that's, and Luke McDermott had a couple of pass breakups on top of that. Just everybody's contributing tonight. And you've got to imagine, Matt, with a 32-0 lead and the dominance shown by this Tigers defense, we're going to see some of these young faces and names that you and I will be calling for the next several years for this Darlington program. You've got to imagine that Patrick Shelley, you don't want to risk injury at this point. So I would think you're going to see some of these younger guys come out, perhaps see Jack Payne play if he is. Again, we don't know what players made the trip or not. I hadn't looked at the sidelines to see if he was there.
And a lot of times you do see Jack Payne, of course, with the hold.
Yeah.
And tonight it's been Jack Good.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the situation is there, but we're going to find out coming up in the second half. And last year we saw Jack Good at quarterback some as well, so we could see him at that position. But I think you're right. We're going to see some of these younger guys and see some different names probably pretty early in the second half, but we'll see what happens. But we've got about 3 minutes until time expires here for our halftime period. Again, Darlington up 32-0 over the Walker Wolverines here on the road in the friendly confines of this stadium here at Robertson Field. Everybody's been super nice to us tonight, and that makes a big difference when you're going on the road when, of course, you reach out to them and ask them permission to do the games, requesting information, rosters, things of that nature, accommodations to have power, and everybody's been super just wonderful to us throughout the entire season, including here at Walker. And just want to take the opportunity to thank the administration and everybody for allowing us to be here to do this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. It's a great facility they have here, and we appreciate the hospitality.
Indeed, and it was one of those situations where, going back to the beginning of the season, one of the concerns going in was, would we be able to travel with the team and go to the different schools, because there were so many unknowns going in, and it's worked out. I didn't want to say anything until we got here tonight, but we are going to get the entire regular season in without a hitch in a lot of respects, which is really just quite unbelievable.
It is, Matt, and did want to bring attention to the fact that Burke Shrimshire and Luke Lewis have been back behind us here. You can see them on the feed right now, both on crutches. Both of their seasons are done, but those guys are here supporting their team and finishing the season with the Tigers.
No question about it. And I do want to mention also, I just looked behind me and noticed that Michael Barron is here tonight, the sports editor from the Rome News-Tribune. And so you can read his story in the paper tomorrow and get all the details on what you watch tonight here in this football game. That's one of my things I love to do on Saturdays is grab the local newspaper, the Rome News-Tribune, and read the stories about the games. I do it every year and just really always look forward to that. It's part of the routine.
Absolutely.
So 1 minute and 12 seconds left on the clock here in the halftime period, then the 3-minute warm-up period. So we're about 4 minutes away from the kickoff of the second half. Darlington won the toss, deferred, so they're getting the ball back with a 32-0 lead. When we come back on the Darlington Radio Network, we'll be back. Yep, we are back and almost ready for the start of the second half. And Ian, do you have any score updates right before we get ready for some action here?
Yeah, there have been a few changes here. One in that game that we were so surprised by the score. Daresville is now up 35-14, so don't count North Murray out yet, but Daresville put up another touchdown in that game, and Ringgold has added a safety and is now up 9-3 over Sonoraville. So that's all the changes. Most of those games are at halftime. And also, we didn't mention... we mentioned it in the pregame, but Coosa and Fannin County canceled due to COVID. Rock Martin, Lafayette also canceled due to COVID, so those teams will not play, and those games will not be rescheduled.
As a matter of fact, Coosa's season ended. They were supposed to play Fannin this week and then close out the regular season next week against Pepperell. And again, just hate it for those kids and the
especially
community.
the seniors, man.
Oh, that is devastating. Their season ended, and they didn't even know it at the time when it happened. So you just got to hate that. But anyway, here it is going to be kicked off by Mamoon. And it's going to be a pretty long kick. It'll be fielded at around the 10. Ball came out, and it bounced far out to about the 30, and who fell on it?
I think Jack Good might have fallen on that ball.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, it was Jack Good that fell on that. He's in the right place at the right time. Ball came to him. Had to field a grounder there, but nonetheless, no harm, no foul. Darlington will start at the 33.
I hadn't seen one ricochet like that ever.
No, it caught his knee and then went off his feet, and it propelled it forwards end over end. And Jack Good, again, right place, right time, but glad he was paying attention.
Darlington gets the ball at their own 33 to start this drive after the special teams disaster is avoided. Man goes in motion. There's a snap. They're going to throw a pass up towards the middle of the field, connect with their wide receiver, and that is going to be close to a first down. Not quite to Thomas Speed, but a great play nonetheless.
Yeah, just a simple curl route there. Shelley dropped back, looked downfield, took his check down, fired, and picked up 8.5 yards.
So Darlington came into the second half leading at 32-0. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. Man went in motion. Here is a quick pass to the flat here on the near side to Thomas Bethel. They are able to connect, and that'll be a first down.
Tell you right now, when it comes to the Wolverines, the guy's name that we've called the most other than Mr. Smart has been Jackson Crail, as he has just been all over the field. Good tackle there, getting Thomas Bethel down out there in the flat.
So the Tigers will go back to the line of scrimmage with Allen in the backfield. 4 wide receiver set. No, that's not Allen. It's Bethel, excuse me. And a quick look to the right, pass to the inside here to Simpkins on the near side. They connect, but not a lot of room to run after the catch. He picked up a yard or 2.
No, the screen was set up well, but well defended, and that was Keon Smart on the tackle.
He actually got a little more than I thought he did on that play. Ball's going to be at the 49, just inside Walker territory with 2nd down and 7 for the Tigers, and that is going to be a flag.
Encroachment.
Yep, 5-yard penalty against the Wolverines.
Yeah, Henry Sinclair jumped into the neutral zone there. And that's very helpful for the Tigers. Puts them in 2nd and short. That's the down and distance offensive coordinators love the most. You can dial up anything. Don't be surprised if you get a little play action here and a shot to the end zone.
Shotgun formation here, and they're going to hand the ball off, and tripped up is going to be Bethel. He's going to be short of the first down.
And we are seeing some different guys get work in different positions. Bethel got a lot of carries from that running back position early in the season. Matt, we haven't seen him line up at running back very often. He's mostly been out in the slot and wide receiver, but a versatile player who's contributed a lot to this team, and looks like he's going to stay out there and get some carries.
And I have to apologize to him because I sold him short. He was able to pick up that first down on that play, so that sets up 1st and 10 for the Tigers, now with the ball at the 44-yard line in Walker territory. Darius Smith in the backfield now with Patrick Shelley. 3 wide on the far side, 1 on the near, working right to left. Darlington leading 32-0. There is a pass here on the near side. Diving for it is going to be Gabe Simpkins, but can't quite get to that one.
Yeah, Cooper Cranfield came free on that play. Shelley did not have time to wait for his receiver to make the cut, had to fire early, and that forced it to be an incomplete pass.
DJ Johnson runs off the field for the Darlington Tigers. Substitution coming in here for him on this play.
Man, I've yet to spot a play clock. I've been looking for it all night, and if it's hidden well.
I don't see it either.
Yeah. But no delay of game penalties, so I guess the players are aware of how much time they have to get the ball off.
2nd down and 10 here for the Tigers with the ball on the 44. Shotgun formation, 2 wide near side, 2 on the far side. Darius Smith in the backfield with Patrick Shelley here for this 2nd down. Man goes in motion and dropping back is Shelley. He's going to put the ball in the air to Owens, who came out of the backfield, connects, picks up a 1st down, is tripped up at about the 30.
That's the 2nd reception for Bowden Owens, and he is making his opportunities count. He almost took one to the house the first time he touched it. That time he's able to take it about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, cut up field, and get a 1st down with a few yards to spare.
So the ball is now at the 32-yard line. Darlington driving here on the first possession of the 2nd half, already leading at 32-0 here at Walker School. Beautiful campus, beautiful night for football. It's about 51 degrees. We've dropped about 9 degrees since the game kicked off at 7:30. There's the snap. He's going to fake, hand it off, goes around the edge. McDermott with a head full of steam. He's headed right towards the pylon, and I believe he just got into the end zone, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen there it is.
There's the signal. And that speed that Luke McDermott has showed us all season just paid off in a big way for the Darlington Tigers. Just a little end around there with the pump fake from Patrick Shelley. Hands it off to Luke McDermott, and he just burned it to the sideline and was able to keep it inside the pylon and get the touchdown. They are spreading the wealth around tonight. Everybody's getting a little bit of the action. And, man, what a fun night to be a Darlington Tiger.
It truly is, and these kids have earned the heck out of it. It's great to see them out there having fun tonight and being successful and racking up a bunch of points here in this football game. Here comes the point after from Bethel. That one's off towards the right, but he squeaks it in, and that makes it 39-0.
And the officials were synchronized in signaling this time. Way to go, fellas. Nice job.
Not as much razzle-dazzle that time on the signal, for sure.
I mean, you can't do the safety dance too many times in one night, man. You go that well too many times, and people might start to talk.
39-0, the Darlington Tigers putting up some serious points tonight. 7:53 left to go in this football game. And great to see Luke McDermott with a big 32-yard run for the touchdown. He's a shifty back. Last year had a shoulder injury, and so he didn't get to play. And to see that young man work really hard, come back, one of the hardest working players on the team, and have success and come up with a score there. It was great to see that young man have that play.
Absolutely.
So the young freshman is going to tee it up, doing a great job tonight. Hendrix Jones filling in for Brinson Sumner. We don't have an update on what the situation is there. We learned that as the game was kicking off, that he would not play tonight. So no information for you there. But here is the kickoff from Jones. That's going to be end over end, drops in at the 9-yard line, will be fielded and brought out. And he is dropped at about the 15. That was
Joe Marion.
Joe Marion again. And he absolutely rocks James Simpson. And
I think Joe Marion only knows warp speed.
Goodness.
That guy flies to the ball, and he hits with authority.
Yeah, we certainly realized early on watching the young man play that he ain't afraid of contact. He likes to get out there and hit them hard. But that's part of what it's all about.
Man, it's fall. The trees are sprinkling leaves down on us here, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is the perfect night for football because it's nice and cool, a little bit windy, but it's not so cold that you can hear our teeth chatter. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off to that young man with the speed, Smart. This time he finds a little room and gets about 7 or 8.
That was the best blocked run between the tackles all night for the Wolverines. Smart had a crease, and he made something out of it. Picks up a solid gain there.
Charlie Condon is the quarterback for the Walker Wolverines. Does a good job, and he's also a great baseball player. I was told earlier today by their PA announcer that he's headed to play baseball for the University of Georgia. He's going to be a Bulldog.
Man,
offset
must
eye.
Be good.
There's the snap. They're going to hand it off and run off tackle here to the near side with Keon Smart, and he is going to pick up a 1st down.
A nice run there. And we're seeing some new faces some clean jerseys out there for the Tigers.
I was going to ask you at halftime which college football games you were most looking forward to, but you'd probably have to think for a minute to remember who's actually going to play tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tough. They keep dropping like flies. Arizona State, that was the latest one to fall to the wayside, but there's some good games at every time slot tomorrow, so I'm excited about Saturday.
2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. They're going to line up in a pro set here with a tailback in, and here's the snap. They're going to pitch to the left and try to get some room on the edge. Oh, my goodness, 3 guys in there, but the lead man was Bryant Powell with the stop.
And it's good to see some of these young guys get out there and get an opportunity to play, and they're playing to the Darlington standard right now, flying to the ball, making plays, and that was actually a short loss. Sets up a second and a long 10.
Bryant Powell with that stop. He is just a sophomore.
Good tackle.
Indeed. Tackled him with some authority for sure. 2nd down and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line. Shotgun formation for Walker trailing 39-0, playing the Tigers here at Robertson Field in Marietta. There's the snap. Quick pass here to the near side. He's able to hit his man. Stays up. Nice stiff arm. Cuts back inside. He's down to the 49-yard line. That's Keon Smart with a big play.
Getting Smart the ball in space, and he's making guys miss.
Smart with some nice moves.
And a promising drive to start the second half for the Wolverines.
I believe Walker is supposed to close out the regular season next week against Mount Perrin Christian. Mount Perrin's game tonight against, I believe, North Cobb Christian was canceled, so I don't know what the situation is there. But this is going to be an offset I formation with Condon under center, 2 wide set, everybody else in tight. They're going to hand it off, give it to Smart. He finds a big hole, stays up, cuts inside. Great move. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown for Smart, and he's always a breath away from breaking a big play.
Yeah, just a big cutback lane there for Smart, and he made the Darlington defense pay for it, taking that one to the house. What was that, about a 55-yard run? It was a long one.
Yeah, it was at least 50 yards.
Oh, yeah, 51 yards.
51 yards. Ball was on the 49, so finally Keon Smart's able to break through, and you had to figure at some point of the game we were going to see that young man with a big play, and there it was. On to kick the extra point is going to be Mamoon. And here comes the snap. Hold looks good. The kick is on the way, but there is a whistle and a flag.
And that ball's gone. He kicked it over the roof.
Encroachment on the Tigers.
Yes, he did.
He did. He cleared the net that they have here, which the nets here are very unique. They look more like fences. But he put that one over the top, and it actually landed on the other side of the school. And you can see one of the young guys running down there now, Matt, to go around the building and retrieve the football.
And it is an interesting setting for a football game. It's tucked right behind the schoolhouse, essentially. And you have just one side of the field where you have stands. On the opposite side, you just got a lot of green grass. Looks like another athletic field over there behind us as well, some soccer goals and whatnot. Here's the snap. Hole looks good. Kick is on the way. I feel like I've said this before, and this time it is going to be through the uprights and good.
And that ball stayed on the roof, so hope they have roof access.
Darlington 39, Walker 7.
I'm sure they had to figure that out a time or two. So with 4:12 left, third quarter, Darlington 39, and the Wolverines with their first points of the game happens with 4:12 left here in the third quarter. It took a while for him to get it, but a big play by Keon Smart, 51-yard run for the touchdown. They get in the end zone and hit pay dirt for the first time.
And the score
And Darlington's young guys looked pretty good, but on that particular play, definitely got out. The gap control wasn't there, and Walker was able to take advantage and get a score here with 4:12 left in the third quarter.
Well, in the first half, the Darlington Tigers, they would have 6 drives in that half. They would score on 5 of the 6. In one drive, they turned it over on downs. And the defense would pitch a shutout in that first half. Darlington has scored on their only drive of the second half, and so has Walker. One man back deep here for the Tigers. You got to figure the Wolverines don't want to kick it to him. McDermott just broke a big run for a touchdown a little bit ago. A line driver It was hit and ricocheted off a Tiger, picked up by McDermott, who runs over towards the far side. I thought we were about to watch another big play.
Yeah, it looked like it. He lost his footing trying to cut back. But if he had made that guy miss, he'd still be running. That was just an awkward kick. Bethel tried to field it and couldn't. It rolled back to McDermott, and he was able to advance the ball up to the 28-yard line.
And McDermott is one of those guys, you talked about it earlier, he's one of those guys that's a step or two away of breaking a big play at any moment.
And Matt, have we moved to a running clock? Because they have not snapped it, and that clock, yeah, I guess we have. 39-7.
3:32 left, clock running here in the third quarter. Shotgun formation, 3 wide set, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far. Good is going to hand the football off, and running off towards the far side is going to be Thomas Bethel with a big run and a first down.
Absolutely, looking good on that run, just getting north and south, making guys miss. Tell you what, man, bright future for Thomas Bethel. I think he's going to be a big-time playmaker for this program going forward.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that.
Only a sophomore, so he'll be back for the next 2 years for Tommy Atha.
2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. There's the snap from the shotgun to Good. Handed off, and another big run here for the young Tigers. Running down the sidelines. He's going to get it down to about the 22 before they haul him out. That was Bethel again.
Yes, it was. Nothing fancy, just a little off-tackle run. And Bethel is making guys miss, picking up big chunks of yardage as the Tigers are on the move again, looking to get yet another touchdown and cross the 40-point threshold.
This time Bethel's going to line up on the slot here in the near side. You're going to have another wide receiver, Will Bagby, here to the near side, 2 on the far side. We'll give you their names in a minute. But Good's going to line them up with a man in the backfield, and they're going to hand it off to Joe Marion. He runs off towards the far hash and gets inside the 10, and that was just a hard run right there from Marion.
He runs like he wants to run over somebody. He's
like trying to hit you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Let's just say Joe likes contact.
It's almost like he'd be disappointed if there was nothing but green grass and nobody to hit. Maybe overstating that a little bit.
I mean, running with purpose for sure. Yeah.
Jack Good ready to take the snap here with first down and goal from the 7. He is going to hand it off, and they will run it up the middle towards the end zone. They finally pull him down at about the 1-yard line, and that was Thomas Bethel again.
Sure was, and we'll see if they let Bethel finish this drive off. He had 2 really nice runs that got them into Wolverine territory, and he almost snuck his way into the end zone there, getting it all the way down to the 2-yard line, or down to the 1, actually.
It's been an offensive explosion tonight here from the Darlington Tigers.
Got a freshman out there, number 20. Haven't called his name all year. That's Timmy Smith. See if they get him the rock here.
So Good ready to take the snap with 3 wide receivers. Timmy Smith in the backfield. They do give it to Timmy. He dives into the end zone. That's going to be a 1-yard run for a touchdown for Smith. Congratulations to that young man.
Absolutely, man. It's got to feel good for a freshman. Those guys take their lumps in practice. They don't get to see the field that often. And Smith, with, as far as I know, the only carry he's gotten all year, just made his way into the end zone. So we'll have to double-check. That could have been his first touchdown as a Tiger.
It may have been, but the score right now is 45-7 in favor of the Tigers. Pending PAT, Thomas Bethel on to try to punch it through.
And we said earlier, not totally aware of the reason Brinson Sumner's not here. We have our suspicions, but the more kicks Bethel gets, the better.
Here's the kick on the way, and it is going to be good. He looks dialed in.
He does, absolutely. Missed that first one, but he's hit the next 4 that he's attempted. So good job there by Thomas Bethel, who put them in position to score. Joe Marion had a nice run on that drive, and then Timmy Smith, the freshman, comes in and gets to finish it off. And like I said, they're spreading the love around here tonight.
And 46-7, the Darlington Tigers on top with 49 seconds left to play in our third quarter. And again, it's one of those situations where it's great to see a game where you've built a big lead. You've got an opportunity for some of these young guys to get in there, give us the opportunity to call their names because they're going to be the future of this football team. So for them to get some reps is a big deal. And as you pointed out, especially in a season where you played 10 weeks in a row. The grind for this team has been unbelievable throughout the season, and tonight they're getting to reap the rewards of what they've done, putting in the work this year.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. And it's nice that it's the bookend of the season, that they're getting this last week, going into a bye week before they get to the playoffs. And I really, I guess that's the benefit of playing 10 straight weeks. They get rest when they really need it the week before they start the playoffs.
Hendricks Jones, the freshman kicker, on to kick this thing away here for the Darlington Tigers, leading at 46-7 with 49 ticks left in the third quarter. A couple of men back deep here for the Wolverines, and this one's going to float to about the 20-yard line. It'll be fielded and brought out by the Wolverines, and they'll get it about to the 30 with Jackson Crail.
Matt, quick update. Cartersville now only up 3, 17-14 against Calhoun. Man, that's got to be some atmosphere at the Reeve right now. And Gordon Central's out to a 35-13 lead over Dade County. Didn't expect it. Not that I'm surprised that they could win that game, but that's a big margin. And Tryon has come back. It's 21-14 at the half. Short-handed, but they've worked their way back in the game.
Adjusting to the situation they have tonight, huh?
Absolutely.
Under center is Condon. He's got a wide receiver to the far side. Everybody else is in tight. They hand it to Smart. A little stutter step and a stiff arm as he goes out of bounds at about the, let's call it 44-yard line as time expires to end our third quarter. It's been a lot of fun so far. The Darlington Tigers having a ball. They lead at 46-7 here on the final regular season night of the season. We're going to send it back to the studio for a minute and come back for the final 12 minutes after these messages.
Walker 7. Westbrook, Henry Esterly, and Steve Cook.
All right, we're back here from Marietta, Georgia. A run to the inside with Smart. Nice stiff arm, 2 stiff arms as he goes out of bounds at about the 33. A flag does come in.
Yes, it did. I don't know what. I didn't catch the call. I was still shocked by that stiff arm. But Keon Smart has been exercising some demons from the first half now that he's got the Darlington second string in. Yeah, I didn't see. That was a clean stiff arm. I think they may have tried to throw a flag for a face mask there, but he kept the hand extended, did not grasp the face mask.
Ball on the 33 in Darlington territory. Wolverines working from right to left on your radio dial, trailing at home to your Tigers 46-7. Here is the snap to Condon. He is going to have company in the backfield, and let me tell you, man, Bryant Powell got to him in a hurry and dropped it.
Third sack of the night, and Bryant Powell just came clean. He was unblocked. He got past the lineman, and then it was Smart's assignment to pick him up. He did not, and Condon was greeted rudely there and taken to the turf.
So now the ball is going to be at the 41-yard line after a significant loss on the sack there by, again, Bryant Powell doing a tremendous job tonight. And, Darlington's been excellent on the line of scrimmage tonight on both sides of the ball. Condon under center. This is going to be an offset I formation, 2 wide receiver set. They're going to hand it off to Smart. He's going to be wrapped up and finally brought down.
Trenton, Mercer, and Powell were in on that tackle again, and that puts the Wolverines in a third and long and obvious passing situation. You want to put a spy on Keon Smart. You know that's where they're going with the ball here. I mean, they've looked at Parker Cook a few times too, but I mean, if I'm the Wolverines, number 3 is getting the rock right here in some form or fashion.
Robert Larson comes off the field as Thomas Level goes out there for this package. He will go wide right here for Walker. Walker in the backfield is going to have Jackson Crail. And at quarterback, now we're going to have a substitution. That's 13, but we don't have that on the roster, so we apologize for that. They're going to hand it off and go with Crail up the middle, and he is going to be dropped by his shoe. That was a great tackle there by number 34, McKay Rush.
Yeah, McKay Rush with a nice tackle, and that they opted to try to pick up some of that to set themselves up with 4th and manageable, I believe. But I tell you what, Crail's a heck of a player. That guy, he's their version of Joe Marion. He likes contact. He's been in on just about every play on defense for the Wolverines, and a nice run there for him.
4-down territory on 4th and 10 with the ball at the 33-yard line. 3 wide on the far side. In the middle of those wide receivers is Smart, so you got to watch him. Here's the snap. They're rolling off to the right side. They do go with Smart on this play, trying to get him out into space, but Darlington did a good job not giving him the room he needed.
Absolutely. Great job there by Darlington to force the turnover on downs. Just a great play there. And Darlington will get the ball back on offense. It is a running clock at this point, 9 minutes flat at this point. And Darlington will have another chance to score, maybe get over 50 points.
We will see what happens, but this has been an unbelievable game for them offensively. And, of course, after the last couple of weeks with region losses, it's good for them to get back in the win column, even things out. And this is going to give the Darlington Tigers a winning record for the regular season. And Coach Atha, since he has been at the helm of Darlington, this is his 19th season. He's had a winning record as a head coach every single year, and that continues.
You know that means a lot too. So big win for Coach Atha.
3 wide receivers, and a handoff is going to go to Joe Marion. Ball came out, and let's see. I think the Tigers came back up with it, but we'll see in just a moment.
Yeah, let's see. And Smith was just trying to make something happen there. And lost the ball, but I do believe McKay Rush was able to get the ball back. He does have it, and the Tigers will maintain possession.
Number 34, McKay Rush.
That brings up 2nd down here for the Tigers as they get ready to line up in a shotgun formation. Good. Getting ready to take the snap here on this play. There's the snap. They're going to hand it off and run the football. He carries the pile. He may have got it, man. That was Timmy Smith.
And there's a flag at the end of that play. Maybe some extracurricular activities going on out there, but Timmy Smith took that one up the middle, and this young man is showing some serious upside here. He did fumble on the previous play, and that will help you find the bench, but he backed it up there with another nice run. Let's see what the call is here. Personal foul, and that's going against the Wolverines. So that's,
1st down.
Yeah. And Smith picked up the first down with the run, so they'll mark it off from the end of that run, and that'll put Darlington in good field position. Got a quick score update for you. The Rome Wolves just took a 7-6 lead. Reese Fountain hit Jay Wise for a touchdown pass. That one's in the 3rd quarter, but 7-6. We thought it would be a defensive struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. Douglas County's played lights-out defense going into the evening. I believe they've only given up average of 9 points a game. Rome's played excellent defense throughout the year. So that game is absolutely going in the direction that everybody thought it would. And that's a big game, too, because that determines essentially what will be a home playoff game as things should shake out the rest of the way.
Long way to go in that one, but the Wolves do have the lead.
So the Tigers get ready to come back to the line of scrimmage after the penalty that helped them pick up a 1st down. And the ball is going to be on the 46-yard line. Clock now starts, 7:28 remaining to go here in this football game tonight in Marietta. I think it's pretty safe to say with a 46-7 lead, Tigers are coming out with a win and securing a winning record for the regular season, which is exciting to get to see tonight.
It sure is. It's exciting to get to see some of these young players on the field, too. It'd be great to see them finish this drive off with a score.
3 wide receiver set. And we wait for the snap to good. He takes it, pulls it down, hands it off. Ball comes out, and that's going to be recovered by the Wolverines.
Another fumble there. And a learning moment here for Timmy Smith as he heads to the sideline, as he put the ball on the turf twice there. And this is where the coaches will certainly use it as a lesson for ball security. Unfortunate there for the Tigers that they turned it over.
So that will happen with 6:34 left to go in the football game with Darlington lead at 46-7. Stay tuned after tonight's action as we're going to have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show. And also the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. We'll award that after the game before we pack up our radio station in a box and head home. Under center, I wish we could tell you that young man's name, but he's not on our roster. They're going to hand the ball off to Smart. He stays up and makes a couple of moves, cuts to the inside. He's off to the races down to about the 30, and he'll be hauled out of bounds. I think that was Smith who got him out of bounds.
And Smart has gotten some running room, and now that Darlington's gone to their second string exclusively here. But valuable reps for the Tigers. Just a really nice run there, man. He made some guys miss. You give him space, he's going to make some things happen.
Absolutely. So the Walker Wolverines have a first down. So 1st and 10 for them at the 33-yard line, working right to left in Darlington territory, trailing 46-7. They're going to line up in a shotgun formation. There's the snap. Smart in the backfield takes the handoff, makes his move, and gets about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, good tackle that time, and it was Logan Floyd who was in on that tackle. He was assisted. I didn't catch the number there. Yeah, Jack Cowan. There you go.
Brings up 2nd down and 6 here for the Wolverines. We're not going to have any college football for you tomorrow on WLAQ. We're affiliates of the Alabama Crimson Tide. We also carry some Georgia Tech games, and we were going to carry one of them, but both of them got postponed. There's the snap. They give it to Smart, kind of a delayed run there. He runs to the inside, stutter steps, and gets pulled down at about the 20.
Smart again on the carry.
Yeah, Connor Ellison makes the tackle. Another freshman out there for the Tigers.
Connor Ellison, but not before he picks up another Wolverine first down.
So that'll be into the red zone for the Wolverines with a first down. And threatening to score again late in this football game. Did not score until the 4:12 mark of the third quarter. It had been Darlington all the way up until that point. Darlington defense pitched a shutout in the first half. And now a lot of young guys getting some experience here tonight on the road in the last regular season game. That's going to be a runoff towards the right tackle side of things. James Simpson picks up a couple of yards for the Wolverines, bringing up 2nd and 8. We're under the 4-minute mark. 46-7 Tigers over the Wolverines, and I got to admit to you, man, I felt like Darlington no doubt came in the better team, but when I saw it was Friday the 13th, I'm like, who knows what can possibly happen on any given night when it's like that. But
isn't that the truth?
It's turned out real nice tonight, thank goodness.
It all worked out in the end.
There's the snap. And a hard hit from the Tigers defense as James Simpson is dropped to the turf.
Matt, we just had a couple of pizzas delivered.
Did we really?
Yes, we did, from some of the Darlington parents. They dropped those off for us. I
think that was Thomas Bethel's dad, I believe. But
may have been.
Yeah.
That was a very nice jet. Whoever it was, we thank you.
Let me tell you.
Because dinner's always on our mind, isn't it, Matt?
Your Pie is cooking the pizzas here, and I've had that before. And when I was in Macon one time, they make some good pizzas. I can't wait to eat that. Underneath center is the quarterback, the 2nd string, but we don't have him on our roster. I really don't like not giving you that young man's name, but that's just what situation we're in. And the running back's going to be dropped, James Simpson, for a loss.
Jack Cowan with another tackle there.
It brings up 4th down and 10 here for the Wolverines, obviously in 4-down territory with the ball in the 19, trailing this one 46-7.
And you know the young guys out here would love to get a stop. 4th and 9. Yeah, Matt, you and I don't like to call a game on a full stomach, so dinner's always a post-game thing. So it's always a little conversation, and that's been solved for us. When we're at Chris Hunter, we always get a little to-go box. So this is the first time on the road that's happened. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Going to send a wide receiver to the far side, one to the near side. Quarterback under center takes the snap, drops back, and he is going to be pounded by Connor Ellison.
Another sack for the Tiger defense, and the young Tigers have gotten out there and been allowed to have a little bit of fun here and that'll close out the game. You love to see that for them, man. For them to go out there and get a stop with the running clock, that should do it. Tiger offense will come out and maybe run a few plays and take this thing to the house.
Well, certainly want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Darlington Tigers on an excellent regular season. They are going to improve their record tonight. Of course, coming into the game, they had picked up a couple of losses against some really good teams, but they rebound tonight, coming away with a big win, and they will move to 6-4 for the season, 2-2 in the region, securing that number 3 spot. So it's looking like after the bye week next week, Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to be headed to Mount Pisgah Christian in Johns Creek, and that game could be played either on a Friday or a Saturday. We'll just see how that has worked out, but that's what the bracket says. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Good at quarterback. He's got Timmy Smith back in the backfield with him. Darlington leading this one, and they are going to take a knee and ride out the rest of the time in this football game.
Every coach's favorite formation.
That's right.
Victory.
That's pretty much going to do it here tonight. The Darlington Tigers, the winners, 46-7. A great road win to close out the regular season. Absolutely grueling grind to go through, playing 10 weeks in a row, and it results in a 6-4 regular season and a trip to the playoffs yet again for the Darlington Tigers. And that's going to about do it. 10 seconds left on the clock, but again, Ian, just a great night for the Tigers here tonight in Marietta.
Yeah, absolutely. A good team win. And a fun night for the Tigers. They needed one of these kind of games where they could just go out, cut loose, and enjoy the game of football, and they got it. And man, the timing was great.
And I mean, Ian, we knew coming in tonight that you wouldn't have Luke Lewis. Went down with an injury last week. He's really been one of the most vocal guys on this team, biggest leaders of this team. And then, of course, Bert Shrimpshire, he's been out for a couple weeks. He's here on crutches tonight, both those guys on crutches. We didn't know until the game started that Brenton Sumner wouldn't be here. So you had a few guys, not playing tonight, banged up a little bit. So to come here tonight and come away with a 46-7 victory gives you some positive things to get excited about and give some of these young guys some momentum as they get ready to have a couple of weeks of a breather in preparation for the playoff game coming up Thanksgiving weekend.
Absolutely, and the bye week next week gives the guys that can get healthy again an opportunity to do just that. Because they're going to need them when they go on the road for this game. And, it's been a great season, Matt. I feel so very fortunate that we got all 10 of these games in and just have enjoyed working with Dave and Joey and all these guys. So great season. Appreciate all you guys have done for us. Go Darlington.
Go Darlington. Go Tigers. There ain't nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night is what they say. But do also want to take the opportunity to thank Stacy Norton and also Melvin Scott. They've helped us out, sending us some statistics because obviously it's a two-man show in terms of the commentary. To be able to keep up with all those kinds of things is just literally impossible. So that's been a big help this year, and we certainly appreciate that. Well, we're going to send it back to the studio, but we are coming back one more time because we get the honors of awarding the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game, and so we've got a stressful few minutes here as we try to figure out who that's going to be. Got a few things in mind that we'll discuss during the break, but Darlington wins tonight 46-7. Congratulations to Tommy Atha and his team, and as I pointed out earlier, 19th season at the helm. Coach Atha has never had a losing season, and I think there's only been maybe 1 or 2 years where they didn't make the playoffs. So just congratulations to Coach Atha because obviously he's a great football coach in terms of teaching kids how to win on the football field, but he's also excellent at encouraging these kids and teaching them how to be better men, better husbands, better fathers, better at their jobs, all those sorts of things. He's the right influence that you want teaching your kids, and he also surrounds himself with a great coaching staff. All of his assistant coaches, they all have that same mindset and influence on these young men, and that's just as important, if not more important. Certainly more important than going out and winning football games.
Oh, absolutely. He's a treasure of the community of this Darlington community in Floyd County and Rome as a whole.
No question about it. 46-7, Darlington wins. We'll send it back to the studio for a few minutes, come back with the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game, and wrap things up and get you ready for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. So we'll send it back to the studio. We'll be back.
Ooh. Ooh. I mean, Tyler Watkins.
I almost feel like Harrison because he eclipsed 1,000 yards. That's a milestone.
It is.
Well, I just got message from the studio. Lynn Butler, one of the hosts of Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. We've been informed that the president and CEO of WLAQ and Rome Sports legend, Rome Floyd Hall of Fame member Randy Davis, has instructed us to talk for 30 minutes so they can get ready for the scoreboard.
We haven't
show.
gotten it to them this early all season, and those guys have to get into their rhythm, you know, and it's a process.
We're going to make them work tonight.
I think so.
We got a long drive
so.
back home, but we certainly could because there's a lot to talk about from this football game. It was a great night for the Darlington Tigers, and I know that I've left our mics hot for some of our conversation, and you can tell the difficulties that we're having in terms of figuring out who's going to be the winner of the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game Award tonight, because you had contributions from so many different guys, and I know we've said that all season long, but it's been great team effort all season long. It really feels like to me that the chemistry of this team is certainly there. They battle for each other. They get out there, make plays, and just grind it out, and they won this football game tonight, and it was because everybody pitched in and got them over the hump, and they had a big game, which was fun to watch.
Yeah, we had a ton of guys that could have earned this honor tonight, but there was a big play early in the game. Darlington was only leading 6-0 at the time, and senior Tyler Watkins came through clean and blocked a punt that set Darlington up with good field position, and they were able to take that 2-score lead and never looked back. He also had a sack. He's been a glue guy all season. And, you know, we like I said, we want to spread this out a little bit, and we think Tyler Watkins earned it tonight and is one of those guys that Darlington's had to have to win games throughout the season. So he is our Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the game.
Thank you very much, Ian. Definitely well-deserved, and I think sometimes when you're giving out awards like this, it's easy to look at some of the skill guys that are putting up yards, scoring touchdowns, things like that. And, yes, obviously, if you don't have that, you're not going to win football games, but you got to have the guys step up and make plays like you saw from Tyler Watkins tonight. So tonight is his night, and he wins the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game. So congratulations to Tyler Watkins winning that here in his senior season. Just did a tremendous job all season long here in the regular season. We're looking forward to seeing what he and the rest of this team do in the playoffs, because we're going to be getting ready for that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I won't eat any turkey sandwiches on Friday. I will. The tryptophan will not affect me, Matt. I won't allow it.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Go.
I probably will, but it'll be after we get back from the game.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
But not during the day for sure.
We have to be on point.
Well, Darlington came up big offensively throughout the entire night. It was one of those nights where there was no doubt which team was going to come out with a W from early on in this football game. Darlington would score on their 3 first drives of the football game. They did win the toss, deferred the second half, forced a 3-and-out. For the Walker Wolverines, they would score on a Patrick Shelley 4-yard touchdown run. Then they would score on a 2-yard touchdown run from Harrison Allen, a 53-yard run from Patrick Shelley. That was all in the first quarter. Their 2 scores in the second quarter would be a 25-yard touchdown screen pass that was from Shelley to Thomas Speed. That put them up 25-0. They would score again on a pass to Simpkins that put them up 32-0. And then the rest of the scoring for the Darlington Tigers on the night would be a 32-yard run from Luke McDermott, and that put them up 39-0 after the PAT was good from Bethel. And the last score of the night was a 1-yard run for Timmy Smith, who came in there in that third quarter, and Darlington was up 46-7 at that point of the football game, and that's where the score would remain. And scoring their only touchdown of the game was Smart, a great player for this Walker football team, playing in his last regular season game at home, and that would be the only score of the night for Walker. Again, that was Keon Smart, who had a big 51-yard run. So that pretty much is the scoring summary for this football game. And again, Darlington wins this game to go 6-4 on the regular season.
Absolutely, and Harrison Allen over that 1,000-yard mark. Shout out to him. Patrick Shelley, great game. Luke McDermott, great game tonight. Darlington Tigers, great team win. Enjoy your rest. Prepare for the playoffs. We can't wait to get back on the road here in a few weeks.
Big momentum building game to have a game like that, and we really hadn't seen this team explode like that on offense a whole lot this season. They played very well. They've had great averages in terms of offense, but tonight, as you've mentioned several times throughout the broadcast, they really got to go out there and do a lot of different things and have a lot of fun in this football game and put it away early, got some young guys into the game. So there were so many positives that happened here tonight at Marietta, and we were just glad to be here to see it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, good night for football.
So, with that said, for Dave Corbin, Joey Johnston, also back at the studio, Lynn Butler tonight, Stacy Norton handling the stats here tonight. Thank you so much for that. Obviously, we mentioned Melvin Scott's been helping him out with that. Ian, always a great job, man. I always love listening to your commentary. You've been watching football and part of that your whole life, and really have good knowledge and insight in what happens every single play.
Thanks, man. I love sharing the booth with you, man, even though the booth is outdoors tonight.
I love this outdoor booth. The weather was perfect for it tonight. It was just fantastic, and the sight lines in terms of watching the game were as good as we've had pretty much all season. So this was fantastic, and thank goodness the rain was not in the forecast for tonight, or we would have had a little trouble there, but we dodged that too. So it's just a perfect night, as you mentioned. So Darlington wins it tonight 46-7 on the road. We'll take the week off tomorrow night. Much needed breather for the Tigers. They're going to have 2 weeks to prepare for their playoff matchup, which we believe at this point is going to be Mount Pisgah Christian on the road in Johns Creek coming up Thanksgiving weekend. So with that said, we won't be with you next week, but we'll be with you in a couple of Fridays, and we're looking forward to that. And thank you so much for tuning in, whether you listen on the radio tonight or the video stream. Always a lot of fun, and hope you'll join us if you can't make it to the game coming up in a couple of weeks. So with that said, we will wrap up here tonight from Marietta at the Walker School. Appreciate the hospitality here. We'll send it back to the studio, where I know Lynn Butler and Randy Davis are ready to take this thing away from us and talk about other games from the area. So here it is, guys. Have a lot of fun tonight, and so long, everybody. Take it easy. Be safe.
North Murray's working their way back in.
Really? Good. Yeah, my analysis on that was not good. I just really thought
I was with you.
Yeah. I really thought that was what was going to happen in that game.
That's more chair.
Man,
I know, right?
wow, man, it feels good to stand up.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That transportation. Bring that equipment. That's awesome. I love that. That's good. That's perfect.